Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Imperfect Recall. I'm your co-host, Mike Eshelman.
And I'm your other co-host, Tom Arnold.
And here in lovely Studio E in frigid Columbus, Ohio, I want everyone to please welcome our special guest, Tim Tortorello.
Hello, everybody.
Yay.
Yay. Wonderful to be here.
You say that now.
Yeah, we'll see.
You'll hate our guts soon enough.
Maybe. It depends how this Inquisition goes. I think I'm ready. I don't have any. I have no more fear of anything.
There you go.
Let's do it.
And just keep in mind that the Inquisition goes both ways.
Sure, yeah.
I had no idea the Inquisition batted from both sides of the plate, but thank you for the history lesson.
Yeah, I was a history major for, like a quarter and a half.
So you know your shit.
Yeah. It's like that psych class completely prepares us for all of this.
Well, you sound like a broadcaster, I got to admit.
Well,
you've got the voice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Let me get mine going here. Yes. California, hello. I always wanted to do big radio voice guy. I think I should be.
You got it.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Jesus Christ, man.
That's the next chapter in the Tortorello story. You need to get on the air, man.
Yes. Get back on the air. I did have a show in Spanish when I was at OSU, but it was only an hour, 1 hour per week, and I played music for like 20 minutes. So, anyway, my dad was a broadcaster though, big ham radio guy, and I loved to go down. Loved to go down in the basement and sit on his lap when he was doing his, trying to find people to talk to out in the world.
Yeah,
big map of the world.
That's
on the
very
wall,
cool.
A pin with everybody we talked to. They had postcards going back and forth. So yeah, that was really neat. I was going to
say, a bit like shoeboxes full of postcards.
Yeah, tons. They were called QSL cards for some reason. I don't know, but yeah, like the.
I used to know what QSL stood for. I've got my license in ham as well.
Okay, nice.
So, yeah, I don't remember anything from the class because I don't really do it. Right. It was a license. It was a license that was necessary to get another license. So it was like, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like a prereq.
Yeah. Gotcha. That's like a super expensive hobby too to get into that, like deep into that too.
Ham is expensive as hell.
Yeah.
To get into.
We had a 50-foot dipole antenna running up the side of our house, and when he would I don't say broadcast, that's not the right word. When he would talk on the radio, you could hear it coming through on the television, the telephone, not just our house, the whole neighborhood.
Films.
Yeah. So it became a problem, and my mom hated it, but I thought it was really cool. Anyway, so the point is, not my first microphone. After all that. Not my second either.
So you've listened to the shows that we've put down previous and understand the concept. So what we like to do is talk to people that we knew when we were kids and find out, did I know Tim, or did I just know the persona of Tort? So once you said that you're able to do the show this month, I was trying to remember back, like our interactions when we were younger, and you were like a super nice person, and I remember you would do anything to get a laugh out of people. Like you were just so, I don't know, you would like humiliate yourself just to get a laugh. And the one thing I remember, and again, we talked about this before we hooked up with Tom tonight. There's a lot of stuff I'm a little hazy on in those years, just because I'm getting old and I did a lot of stupid things with my brain that I shouldn't have. But in the DC trip, I remember, I want to say Mark Loxo and Mark Molnar were having a stare-off.
I remember that, yes.
And like there were a ton of us packed into this little room.
Fitzpatrick, I remember specifically.
Yeah, and like just wall-to-wall guys in this little room watching two guys stare at each other. And it kept going on and on and on for minutes and minutes and minutes, and the tension was building. And then out of nowhere, you jump out of the closet in your underwear, like just fucking flailing your arms and spouting gibberish to get them to laugh. And the whole room just was in tears.
Yes.
Laughing.
That's awesome.
So that's the Tort that I remember. I'm like, this fucker will do anything for a laugh.
You've definitely That's good because
Wow.
on the first MySpace profile, the first thing I ever wrote on any social media was, it said, "Who do you want to meet?" And I wrote the spark of laughter. Because that's real. There's nothing better than like the second prior to a good belly burst.
Yes.
It's the best thing on earth, man. It really is.
I mean, as somebody that was pushing to be class clown, it's not like you were competition. It's like you were bringing your A game. So I had to sharpen my funny just to even be in the same room with you.
I didn't feel like a clown, though, that I was performing. But yeah, I guess that was part of the Tort persona.
Right.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that. That's good that you picked up on that.
Oh, yeah,
Funny
absolutely.
Story. Now that you painted that picture, I remember it vividly.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Because this huge guy just comes out of the closet, just loud and boisterous.
Yes.
And once you were done being scared, you realized how fucking funny that moment was.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the DC trip was big for me. I loved it, man.
It was some good times.
If I knew that
Yeah, it was.
the band people partied as hard as the jocks, man, I would have got those groups together like, long before.
Right? Right?
For sure.
Yeah. And that's wild because, really, it's two sides of the same coin. We were all out looking for the same thing. But, yeah, we should have partied more.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really party all that much till the very end of senior year, the second half of senior year. That's kind of when I really joined the party scene or whatever. I was into sports and I don't know. I wanted to be a good football team or whatever that senior year. So that was my goal. Yeah. So I wasn't partying or doing anything like that. But once all that ended,
actually, if I recall, that whole team kind of had the same mindset. You guys were like laser focused on kicking ass that year.
Yeah, I think we did. We were a tight group. It was cool. But even though being in a tight group, I don't know. Being in that group and then the band was my other main group. I'm in both of those groups like a main player or enough of a main player, but I didn't feel like I was totally attached to either.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm kind of like a bystander in both, sort of. That's how I felt anyway. I don't know if that's how I really was, but
interesting. That's probably not uncommon. I would guess because you're trying to find your space in your. Because I think Mike and I kind of felt the same way. Like I was in band, but I didn't like know how to read music or I chose trombone because it was easy and fun.
right.
I wasn't a musician by any stretch. It was an insult. I'm sitting here playing next to actual people that are good.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Tell me about it, man. For me, the band room was not like sports. I struggled in there to figure out what I was doing. And that's like, that's putting yourself out there. Because, you're sitting there with your instrument in wherever chair you're in. You're the center of that universe. You have your sound and all the sound going on around you. And I don't know. It's incredible. I really, really liked it. And I really liked that it was seventh period. A great way to end the day, man.
Right? The cool thing with band, too, is because you're in that group and everybody's doing the same thing, fucking up made you really stand out. You couldn't hide.
Yeah.
If you couldn't just play it off.
Yeah.
People was like, you, get there.
Yeah. And so, like you're sitting next to really good musicians. I'm sitting next to Paul Strestadata. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is like JV versus varsity here.
It was Brian Casey, Spinoza, Fran, me, and then like freshman Pat McBride, who just got last chair because he was new. And like he jumped over me like within the first couple of weeks. I think I was last chair for the entire time I was in band. But yeah, so like really just out of the corner of my eye, I'm just seeing where their slide position is. Faking the funk as best I can. Yeah.
And then we had to go with those like individual tests with Mr. Walchuk.
Yeah.
And play the songs. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a disaster. Because I have to when we first got the music, I had to just sit there and listen to see how it goes. Because I really couldn't read music either. And I don't know who could, but obviously somebody could because eventually we made songs or whatever.
Music happened.
Yeah. Do you remember we made an album? Was that at OLP with Rob Hurley's dad or something? Bill Hurley's father.
No way.
Right.
I fucking loved that, man. That was so badass to me. I loved that, and I need to get a fucking copy of that somehow. Put it out there. You guys know those people still. We got to find a tape or a record of that. Anyway, that's for me.
I'm sure Rachel has it.
Yeah, somebody does. I just don't
good
have.
call. Okay, yeah. So for the handful of people that listen to this show, if you happen to have that album or know somebody that might, get in touch with Tort and let him know because he's trying to track it down.
I wore my version out. I listened to it constantly. I was very proud of that. I thought it was awesome.
It was so cool. And I love that they did the marching band season was like track 1 through 5. Then the concert band season was track 6 through 10.
Yeah.
So it had like our marching band songs plus the concert band songs.
Yeah, and then the real good players, the jazz band. Those trumpet guys. Yeah, they were good. They were really good.
Yeah, but it was Prophecy. It was Harrison and
Swanson.
Prophecy. Oh my God!
Swanson.
I remember I was at USA skating roller rink for Battle of the Bands.
Yes.
yes.
Yep.
Yes.
We were like 15 or 16. We couldn't have been older than 16 because I had to have my mom drive me to the skating rink. So I didn't even have my license yet.
I feel like I must have been with Loxo because he was driving from the very beginning.
Wasn't he like 23 or something? That guy always had a car.
But going back to the stare, that was a nasty stare face that he had, man. That was crazy. Anyway. All right, so where are we going with this? How does this work?
You steer, man. We're here to hear your story. Nobody gives a shit about us.
The good parts.
Yeah. So okay.
The masks.
So take me back to the hallways in high school, and again, I remember he is just like this friendly, jovial guy.
Okay.
So what was going on in your head at that time?
Man. Well, this was so hard back then, man. I was dealing with homosexuality, or more like trying to not deal with it, because it really sucked. I didn't want anything to do with that. I knew I was different. I hated it. I just wanted to fit in. I wanted to be the same as everybody else. And I could recognize that everybody's going through all these awkward things at this age. And I just felt it was like unfair that I had this extra curveball to deal with. And there's like nobody to talk to about it, especially in our Catholic situation.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't give up my secret. Like, nobody, that was my whole mission in life, was that nobody could find out that I'm gay ever, period. So I have to act and be something completely else all the time so nobody could figure it out.
Shit.
So that's kind of how I started off every single day. And then you throw in things like the locker room and shit. It's like, man, oh, God, it just sucked so bad. I wanted it just to go away. I didn't want that.
Jesus, that's
so, yeah,
huge
so
for it. And yeah, like you said, that's a terrible place.
And these masks are ingrained in me. I think they've grown into my skin. I wore them so long and so well.
Right.
But then, the hard part wasn't so hard getting through high school, but then when I'm leaving high school, how do you say it? Now you want to date.
Yeah.
But you hate this part of yourself.
Oh, God damn, man.
But you don't, coming from where I came from, I had nowhere. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know who any other gay people. I always thought Bob Webb might have been gay, but I wasn't sure. And even if it was, how do you start that?
Right.
Hey, man, are you gay? I got things to talk about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
At that time, they're just as guarded and masked as you are.
Right.
Everybody was for every reason.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I kind of knew Bob was. And I don't know for sure about anybody else, but there's at least one other person in the band that I was 100% sure, but not enough to stake my life on,
Right.
But I don't know, for me at least, and I think for a lot of the people that we all knew, specifically in band, I don't think anybody would have cared.
No, I don't think anybody would have cared, and certainly now nobody cares at all. But back then, man.
But then you don't know.
There was no way. It was the life or death. I wouldn't have been able to face. I wouldn't have been able to look anyone in the eye if that had come out. It would have destroyed me. So, And then, you know, the whole family aspect. I could never tell my parents. No way.
Yeah.
I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. My sisters and I will talk about it freely anytime, but my brothers never have ever mentioned it.
Still to this day.
Still to this day.
Holy
like they
shit.
know. They know what I am. They know who I am. We just don't talk about it or whatever. Don't acknowledge that part of me.
When did you come out to your family?
Well, I never did come out to my parents. I came out to my oldest sister. It had to be my early 20s, so early 90s. And she was completely cool with it. She was totally cool. It was like, yeah, no big deal, so what? But then I had friends, like my Upper Arlington friends, didn't quite handle it so well. It was so strange. They were like the most liberal people I knew, so I thought they would be pretty cool with it. But it didn't turn out like that. It was like, I came out to my friend Sam, and he like had a freak out at the bar.
Really?
Yeah. And then we went back to the house where everybody else was and continued the coming out. And they're all like, well, wait. They're like, wait, have you done anal? Because you're not gay unless you've done that. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, this isn't about that at all, you know? This is like,
Oh my God.
it's like shit. So I'm like, I am alone and lost here.
Holy shit, dude.
And yeah, my early experiences, you know, there was never any dating. But there was like, and this is disgusting, like the basement of, what's that place called? The Lion's Den, but like back in the day.
Okay.
Remember the Lion's Den on Olentangy?
Yeah.
It was a complete scumbag, disgusting shithole.
The little peep show room down in the basement.
Yeah, they had like 25-cent movies. That's kind of where I like discovered myself, unfortunately. But not the worst place in the world, I guess. But I also had the whole HIV and AIDS thing. That's more like 8th grade, I remember. It's like, this is the world I'm facing. Whatever.
Yeah, that was like our early mid 80s.
I'm like 84, pin it right there. It's like gay cancer. Like, what is this? I'm like, you have to get it, or can you just have it? Like, you know, I was so ignorant to everything. And again, with like seemingly nowhere to turn, you can't ask these questions without being like questioned. Like, why are you interested? You know? So I couldn't like, you know, I had to find out through strangers everything I needed to know.
Jesus, that's so awful.
So yeah, that was scary. That was hard. But I think that's similar for a lot of gay men, especially gay Catholic men.
Right.
And if you want to take it another stage, you know, I majored in Spanish at Ohio State in my 40s or whatever. So I got into Latino culture. It's even worse for them. They lose their entire family, their whole community, the church, everything. And it's still not very well accepted. So, you know, as hard as it is for me, or as it was, it's still like that for lots of people. And it really, really sucks. And I wish, you know, I'd like to reach out somehow and, I don't know, be part of an organization or do something. Like, I want to write a letter, like, what is Waterson doing for their gay students? Because those kids probably need a voice or need somewhere to turn to.
They need double the help that everybody else does, because like you said, it's such a cloistered, closed-minded atmosphere at that school.
Yeah.
That,
time,
you know, yes, public school kids now coming out still have it terrible. But compared to what you went through in the 80s, it's a completely different world now.
Yeah.
But is Waterson any different than it was in the 80s? I doubt it.
That's probably the Catholic thing is still the same as it ever was. At least, I don't know. I shouldn't maybe be so harsh, but
what was just a few years back? They fired the gym teacher.
Yeah.
Because she got married to she was a lesbian. She got married.
Right.
And it wasn't like she advertised it. Somebody like found out about it from some innocent publication or something.
Yeah, it was like the wedding announcement of the Dispatch or something.
Yeah,
and
right.
A concerned parent, you know, contacted the district. You know, I think the administration at Waterson. I mean, obviously everybody just knew.
Yeah.
You know, didn't care.
Right.
She was a good teacher. She was doing her job. Her orientation was not the defining thing about this person.
No.
Just like you.
Right.
Like anybody. And so she got fired, and I recall, I mean, there was a huge, you know, upswell on social media, on Facebook, about, you know, save. I wish to God I could remember the woman's name.
I know. I was all over it at the time. We wore pink or we wore orange for her.
Yeah.
As like a fundraiser or something. I can't remember, but there was like lots of things to show support for this woman. Yeah, I can't believe I can't remember her name either.
So that's a perfect example. I mean, if the environment hasn't changed, that what kind of message does that send to the kids?
That's what they're doing to faculty,
right?
That's an accomplished, educated, smart woman of the world.
Right. So she didn't even come out. She was outed and lost her job.
Right.
So what's going to happen to you if you do come out? Or if you're, like you said, if you're outed, man, that has to be terrifying. I mean, goddamn. Yeah. Being 15 and 16 is hard enough.
Yeah, agree. Yeah. It's very
to
tough.
Put that on top of it. Jesus, dude.
All of the pressure.
Where AIDS made everybody scared of the gays. They're going to kill us all with this.
Yeah.
It's just like, my God.
And that was weird. Right before the Freddie Mercury movie came out, I went back on YouTube and looked at all those news stories of the very beginning of the HIV/AIDS epidemic, pandemic, and it was bad. The stigma with the homosexuals and the people suffering, and nobody wanted to take care of them, and just the ignorance and the fear was just, oh man, incredible. And so I was like, man, I can't believe I made it through that. Actually, looking back at it all,
as close to a modern, as close to like how they treated lepers back in the day.
Exactly.
That's just ridiculous.
Well, on The Simpsons, did he give you gay? Like it was contagious or whatever, I have to say, those were like some of the first things I saw, like in the media that like addressed whatever gay people or I don't know.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But they put Bart in front of a billboard with all these hot chicks smoking cigarettes, but all he wanted to do was smoke cigarettes. Anyways. But yeah, it was a hard time. But I want to like just a little shout out to the friends that I did have that who were there by my side that didn't know, but they were always there and they were really supportive. The Boyles, Mark Loxo, Grom. Thank you guys for always being there. That was awesome. If I needed a ride, you were always there. Incredible.
Well, that's good that you had a friend set too.
Yes.
That and we've talked about this, that these guys fucking saved my life.
Right.
I don't know what I would have done without their support and concern about me as a person.
Right on.
I mean, it's fucking. I wouldn't wish teenage or puberty on my worst enemy.
Man. God,
it's so terrible.
So fucking weird.
We were so
weird. Just a fucking weirdo.
And just because everybody around you is going through it at the same time, they make it 10 times as hard on you.
Yeah.
Like
I need a room full of people not going through puberty.
Yes. Like I'm loaded up on my own testosterone, yet I have to spend 8 hours a day in this competition to be an alpha male in a room of 300 people. It's fucking, it's scary as shit.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's every morning, man, throw that mask on. I'm like, I don't want anybody to see who I am. No emotion, just get through your day. And
I guess
I'm kind of like, you can see any part of me except this. Anything else is open. Go for it. That's kind of maybe where the comedy and the desire for laughter comes from.
Was that sort of a distraction? Like, like, hey, no, look at my thumb.
Right? Yeah.
Not everything else.
Anything to look away from the main picture or whatever. Yeah. Just keep looking, keep on moving. Yeah, those were all for a distraction. Overcompensation or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I wondered, I didn't like lay in bed at night thinking, what did I do today that might have given my secret away?
Shit.
Just penalize myself.
Shit.
I know, man. It was awful.
Oh my God, dude.
It was awful, but I made it.
See, I was happy to not get punched. That was my goal. Right. I wasn't carrying around any secrets. It's just
I was big and strong and all that, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Right.
But I suppose the person who I bullied.
And see, we kind of talked about that off air. I think what I liked about Tort when we were kids, or not kids, but in high school, was you were so friendly. Like if I caught your eye in the hallway, there's a big hello, and you easily could have been a bully just because of your size, but you never were. You were like this super nice person who went out of their way to be kind.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's why I liked you. I'm like, this guy could fucking fold me in half and cram me in a locker like the rest of those Jim Rats.
No, I didn't
but
want
he
to be
did
like that, man.
Yeah, and you were just like this.
I mean,
really
I would have
sweet
to act
person.
like that to protect my secret, but it would be nothing personal. So that's what I was worried, is that I was a little aggressive or maybe overcompensated too much.
And somebody out there may, have a conflicting answer, but no, I never saw that from you.
Who did I offend, or whose toes did I step on too much?
Right.
But I just noticed the Freddie Mercury. What is that thing?
That's an Instant Pot.
An Instant Pot with Freddie Mercury.
It's a pressure cooker that says under pressure.
That is the greatest thing in the world, man.
Thank you.
I love that.
Why is Freddie Mercury on a pressure
that transfer?
That's great, though. That just gave me some inspiration right now. Yeah, but though there was none of that either. At least not recognizable to me. There's no gay characters on TV. I was thinking today, the closest I could think of is John Ritter when he moved in with Chrissy and what was the other?
All Three's Company, Janet and Chrissy.
When Mr. Roper came around, he'd have to act like he was gay.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, so
it was way over the top stereotype.
Yeah,
exactly. Oh, the limp wrist and the accent.
Right.
And I was like, well, though, if that's gay, then that's not me either. So
right.
This became a problem also. When I did, come out and go to clubs or whatever, I'm like, I'm not like these folks either. There's this is I don't know. I got to find a normal gay people. No offense to anybody out there, please. But it was I'm not flamboyant or feminine at all. I like wings. I like football. I had a bachelor pad, so I was only gay by sexuality, not by whatever.
Your persona or whatever. Yeah.
Nothing. I wasn't, and, I didn't want to date a guy that acted like a girl. I wanted to date a man or whatever, not a fairy man, which might sound insulting, but I'm just trying to say that there's a group of people that I didn't identify with that I should have. And I found myself again, in a kind of a lonely place, saying, I don't belong here. I don't belong here either.
God damn,
so
dude.
How am I gonna fit in? I read a great book in Spanish going through college about it was a Dominican kid, The Brief and Marvelous Life of Oscar Wilde. And Oscar Wilde was Dominican, but he couldn't dance. He wasn't African American because he was Dominican, so he didn't fit into that culture here, but he didn't fit into his own culture being, a non-dancer and like that either. So I really related to him, find there was no place to go, or I can't identify anybody that's like me exactly.
Right.
And I guess everybody again, same.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, yes. That's something that we all go through, trying to find your people. But Jesus Christ, it sounds like you had it 10 times worse then.
It was hard, but I mean,
yeah.
I'm not trying to sound like a saint or I don't know, or even somebody very strong, because I wasn't. I feel like a lot of things I did were running away from something that needed to be addressed. And I'm not sure where
self-preservation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know where the fear went away, or where that didn't matter anymore. Probably when I moved away from Columbus.
When you moved away?
Yeah, probably. But I was alone in Chicago. I didn't make very many friends, and I worked all the time, so I don't know. But I wasn't scared anymore there.
Now, when you came back, did all of those old feelings move back with you, or did you retain that sort of freedom that you felt while you were in Chicago?
I had some more freedom, but still somewhat reserved, but a lot more free. And as time went on, being here again, it got better and better and better and better. Until it's not uncomfortable at all anymore.
Good.
But it would be, talking to people that I haven't talked to in a long time about this might be uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm not having any trouble talking to you guys. But maybe people I knew more, it would be harder. I don't know. But it was definitely, it was a rough time.
Fuck, dude. I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
No, that's okay. That's where, finding marijuana and the Grateful Dead were just huge, man. That was such a pressure relief. a dead show, smoking pot for the first whatever 6-8 months when it's like brand new and incredible, and you're just so fucked up. That was the best thing in the world, man. Came at a time when I really, really needed it. And yeah, thank God for it. I still smoke to this day.
And you know what? Now that you mention it, that in the parking lot and in the show at a dead show, you can be anybody you fucking want to be. You could sprout antlers, and nobody would give a shit.
That's right.
I never thought about that, but I think that's what appealed to me too.
Magicians, jugglers, clowns, writers.
Yes.
I mean, lost souls, people, just outcasts.
And we had
felons.
You had a commonality with you could walk up and hug anybody at that show.
So the bankers and the Wall Street execs,
yeah,
and the doctors and the lawyers,
right? Yeah,
all just right there.
Yeah. Shit, I never thought about that, but I think that's what the appeal was.
From the wookiest of wooks to the most professional.
Yeah,
we all have that scarlet begonias in common.
Holy shit!
Beautiful. It is.
That's beautiful.
So you could at least get some freedom and some peace at shows. But now, living your life on tour is a tough thing to do.
Right?
Damn. You got to be a good salesman.
Right.
Yeah. It's almost more fun to just come for vacation and then go back to your life, afterwards, instead of trying to live that. At least for me, anyways.
What a great vacation. What a fantastic escape.
It is. Mm-hmm. In so many ways.
Except I saw him in Gund Arena before they tore that down. Like the little tiny basketball venue up in Cleveland. And there was a cool part of it because the light show that goes on at a dead show is phenomenal. And since it was indoors, the lights were on people. So if you focused in on certain points, you could see people jumping around in each color. But the con side is you never quite get that smell out of your mouth of 20,000 deadheads in a clam bake in an arena.
Reefer.
B.O.
Patchouli. Yeah. That's some, they make those in candles now you can buy. And
I think I drove my dad's rusted ass van to that show, and I drove it back that night and went to bed immediately, and I woke up to him standing over me. It's like, go clean that fucking van out. And I just opened the doors, and all I could smell is weed and wild turkey.
Right.
Just in waves coming out of the van.
Nice.
Is that the one I went with you on? Did I go to Cleveland?
I don't think you were out with us to the Cleveland show, because that's when we stayed at Banks's brother and camped out in his living room.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't at that one.
You were at Buckeye Lake.
I went to two.
I want to say the Buckeye Lake show, where my brother went with us. Were you there for that one?
It wasn't Buckeye Lake. Buckeye Lake was Buffett.
Okay.
I wouldn't say the two dead shows I went to were in Cleveland.
Maybe, did you sleep at Banks's brother's house? Sure, yes.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know where I slept that night.
Okay, wait. Let me see. The views and opinions expressed in this show are not necessarily those of Bum's Corner Media.
Yes. Thank you, disclaimer. Mike says no.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
So Grateful Dead for me. Pot, great things, needed them. It was good. It got me through to the next stage, at least.
Right.
So that was good. And now where am I now? I don't know. I've had maybe one boyfriend in my entire life. And he was married in an open relationship. So it wasn't really... It was great for him.
Right?
It was good for me, but not great for me.
Right.
So.
Well, and again, I have no ground to speak from, but it's got to be easier than it was in your 20s or 30s, right?
Yeah, but now my body is all fucked up. I mean, you can't see me, but I'm 400 pounds. I need double knee replacements. So, yeah, it's easier now, but physically I can't move. I can't do anything at all. And looks like I'm going to have to do the bariatric surgery before I can get the knees replaced. So, And that's a whole scary thing for me because my dad actually died 2 days or 3 days after his knee surgery.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm like,
dude,
yeah, I got to go. I have to go. Technology is different now, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, but that's, And there's people talked him into having a surgery he didn't want, and he passed away.
Oh my God!
So like I'm kind of afraid of that, like something in our family, like not good with anesthesia, or I don't know.
Jesus.
So anyway, but I'm like struggling even to like make the appointments to talk to them because I know they're gonna talk me into doing it, and it's probably going to be good for me, but
right, I
have a lot of fear about that.
Understandably
but
so.
Yeah, we got to go back to the masks.
Hey, please, yes.
What? Now you guys have I only listened to the very introduction show and then the one with Rockwell. I think that's all there are.
That's all we've gotten to. Yeah,
so I haven't learned about your masks.
Yeah. All better. Hey, question: is there music in your house?
No, it's my asshole neighbors who think every day is Cinco fucking de Mayo.
What are we listening to now? It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does. I heard CCR earlier.
Some cover band.
All right. Oh. Well, look, at free entertainment for you.
They've got a tent that literally takes up all the flat space of their backyard. It's like from end to end.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And last week it was dance lessons. The same 3 songs over and over again.
Ew.
Evidently, Tom, you were remembered as cool from one of the earlier podcasts.
Oh, that was Rockwell. Nobody listens to him anyways.
Okay. I don't remember you as cool.
I've known him since second grade. He remembers me as being cooler than him.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. In a way, that's a sort of cool. That's a sort of cool.
Sure.
I myself don't recall myself being cool.
I don't remember what even cool is.
All right, so
was.
Question then. Yeah. I mean, you guys were both in band together. What was your impression of Tom when you guys were in, like, what was it, senior year, junior year, or whatever, when you were in band together?
I was there from freshman year
all the way through.
Year.
Okay.
I marched freshman year, but I made varsity sophomore year, so I couldn't do that. But I could still do concert band. And again, I loved that room. I loved you people so much. You have no idea how important that was for me, man. I loved that room. But as far as Tom specifically, nothing really stands out all that much. I think you're a nice guy. Yeah. You were cool. You were always there. I mean, your presence. I don't know. Even when I think about the band, it's like the least individual place of all. Like,
really?
I don't know. There was the 3 really good trumpet players, but everybody else is just like in the group or whatever.
Huh? I'll be damned.
Yeah.
I think there was people who were better players than other, but it didn't matter all that much.
Kind of the same. Like, honestly, I joined marching band. I want to say sophomore year, and then was marching band and concert band. I want to say starting from junior year.
Okay.
Because honestly, embarrassing as it is, I don't recall you being in concert band.
All right. Well, I was there.
Like I knew you as a football guy.
I even had a solo on the album that we made at OLP. Which was enough to drive somebody to drink because I was so freaked out about it, but I got over it. No problem.
What song was it?
Wait, what?
The song?
No, I remember how it went, but I don't remember the title of the song.
How'd it go?
Whoa. We cannot afford any copyright lawsuits, so there'll be no humming.
I'm going to hum the part of my solo. Yeah, it wouldn't be quite as cool, but...
Yeah, it would take about...
I'm kind of in the same boat. It's like... in the band, it's like there's this collective, this Borg, and then there's like the half a dozen people that you kind of not associate with, but are like that
Okay, so
everybody else. This was part of the team.
So from an outsider, you're saying that like your quote unquote band friends were people that you were friends with outside of band then?
No,
and
just in the band room.
Okay.
In that room.
I don't think I had friends in the band outside of.
So you didn't associate with anybody that you were in band with outside of that room?
Not that I wouldn't have, but no, I don't think I did.
Wow, okay. All right.
But the band room was a very peaceful, excellent place. Bright, colorful. Yeah. It was a good place to be. I loved coming there at the end of the day, every single day. It was the greatest seventh period you could ever have.
It's a great way to end the day. Because, I mean, the spirits were high, everybody was there to have fun, and you were creating something.
Yeah,
it was this room full of high spirits aimed at creating something beautiful.
Yes.
You
like
know?
the Pink Floyd song Bike. I know a room of beautiful tunes. Some clang, some chime. Most of them are clockwork. Let's go into the other room and make it work. It's so awesome, man. From like when we first, everybody sat down, getting their stuff together, just all that noisy chaos, to then actual music was such a cool transition. I loved it.
That noise in that little cubicle, that little hallway room, everybody getting their shit out of their cases. Just the clamor and clanging of getting their shit together.
Noise, various
sitting in those metal chairs.
Yeah, various toots and screams and bangs coming from all miscellaneous places. I loved it in there. That was such a cool place.
Yeah,
I almost wish I had more of things like that and less of football or sports or something.
That brings up a question for me. Like at the very beginning, you said you sort of straddled and never quite clicked with either one. Do you think it was because you were half in on both and not all in on one?
No, I don't think so. I just felt like I was distant a little bit. Just like I felt like there was a core of players on the team that was like the core of dudes.
Right.
I was not one of them.
I gotcha. Okay.
And so even though I was still part of that team. Now, if we asked them that might be a completely different answer. That's just how I felt.
Right.
And same with the band. I had friends in the band, and I loved the band, but I didn't really, I didn't have any friends outside of the band. But it was weird. He just reminded me of a time when after our halftime show freshman year, I ran over to, the Boyles and Jeff Gans, and I'm in my band uniform with my saxophone. And suddenly I felt like a total dork. And I'm like, wait a second, though. I shouldn't feel like this.
Right.
I'm the same dude that's going to put on a helmet tomorrow morning and go kill the Sales. So I shouldn't have felt like that. The Sales beat us all 4 years, by the way, so forget that. But, I did. Then I felt odd in my uniform.
Really?
Yeah.
But how did they react to you?
I don't think... They were cool. I just remember the Boyles.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything, or nobody, at least not in front of me, or not to my face. But no, I think everybody was cool. Like, this is just something I do,
right?
Yeah, just like throwing on the football uniform. That's just something I do.
And I want this brings up an interesting, possible point is, how much of the masks and shit that we had to do in the, for our own sort of self-protection, how much of that was made up in our own heads? I mean, how did we sell our friends short that they wouldn't be supportive?
Yeah.
Do we feel, did we honestly have to go to the lengths we did? And obviously, Tim, you went exponentially above and beyond.
Yeah. Well, that's because I had to have friends, but I had to make sure that nobody thought that my friends were gay, too, because I was, even though nobody knew anything. Yeah. I think that was a problem with coming out later to my Upper Arlington friends. Was like, this was like my drinking buddy.
Right.
And I think he was a little put off, people, I was like, well, nobody knows, that I'm gay, so nobody was going to, associate you with me from that, because I'm not out, but that was a problem. So I don't know if we're on topic or not.
We have no.
There's no topic.
Right. You've listened to this show, man.
Yeah. For sure. But still, I'd like it to flow in some direction, or not just be
Well,
It's supposed to be it is.
I picture this entire show as sort of a path of exploration.
Okay.
And oddly enough, not that we're on a topic, but to get off topic, I was looking at the demographics so far for the first couple of episodes, and there's at least one person in the 18 to 22-year-old bracket that listened. So that's my goal, and I know we'll never reach fucking teenagers on a podcast by 50-year-olds. It'll never happen. But if somebody somewhere listens to this and thinks, Jesus Christ, I'm not alone, everybody goes through the same shit.
Well, you're not alone.
Then that's my goal.
Even you gay students out there who are not hearing this, you're not alone. Somebody is just like you, looking for you. Just keep looking, you'll find them.
I wish somebody would have said that to 15-year-old me.
Right.
It says, as shitty as things are, you're not the first person to walk down this path.
Right.
And eventually it'll get slightly better, so fucking relax.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you can't see the whole picture when you're 15. You know?
Nope.
You can't see 25 or 30. And then the desire for everybody to want to go back to that. I have
Jesus Christ, no.
I don't understand that at all.
Me neither.
No.
I'll take my gray hair and my wisdom and keep moving forward.
Now, unless I can like dabble in stocks in the 80s, otherwise I have no interest whatsoever in going back there.
I should have got into computers.
We all should have. Yeah.
But yeah, no, planning a future that wasn't even anywhere near me.
Right.
It was all day to day, just get through this day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so, yeah, we graduated, and I'm sitting there, and I was like, I have no clue what I'm going to do. So I got the most masculine job I could find, which was serving ice cream at Baskin Robbins. We even had pink shirts. It was sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, terrible job.
Hiding in plain sight.
Right, yeah, you got
it. Nobody will ever suspect this guy.
Yeah. I'm so secure, I can wear pink. Yeah, no.
Wow. How does he do it?
That was pretty funny.
Oh, fuck. That's hilarious. Wow.
Man, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of, that was my primary battle. All the other stuff. But see, no, I couldn't date. And that would have been super uncomfortable anyways.
Right.
How? I don't see how that's ever going to work in the future. I don't know. I've heard of stories where gay people take their gay partner to the prom. I can't imagine that.
Not back then, dude. And again, you can't, comparing 2021 to 1987, you can't.
Right.
There would have been a fucking stoning back then.
Yeah.
If a gay couple showed up.
Granted, the transition was happening where it was becoming more and more accepted.
But it was so infinitesimal and not in Columbus, Ohio, at a Catholic school.
I say the rainbow flag went up just a little too late for me. Like, I needed that 5 years before.
Right.
And I really needed to go to college right out of high school. That would have been a big help, but I did not do that. Because I would have met the normal society, not the closed waters in society.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I had some of that with my, I had a group of our Arlington friends. So, but, no, it would have, yeah.
Jesus, wow.
I forget what I'm saying sometimes. And then it just stops. See, we need more beer and stuff for me to really get going. I'm just kidding.
This was a lot heavier than I had anticipated.
Right? Well, I didn't know what you guys were going for.
Shit, we don't know.
Somebody said, well, it'd be cool to get Tort. I'm like, well, I wonder why they want to get me on there.
Because you were like on this periphery of our friends. Like, we knew people in common. So I didn't know. I don't want to sit and talk to people that I've been best friends with for 30 years.
Right,
I'd rather
Yeah.
I knew you, we knew each other, but we didn't know.
By the way, I liked both of you guys just as well, as far as I can remember.
Thanks, man.
You were never a threat at all to anything.
Yeah, like I was this fucking big.
But it's funny. Now that you mentioned, like, okay, the solo, the saxophone, I do remember you from band. I just want to sing that real quick because I felt really bad. I'm like, dude, I remember sitting in the same room with this guy. But now that we've talked it through, I'm like, okay, yeah, that memory is coming back. I do remember you from band.
Okay, that's funny because I remember people that weren't in band that I thought Mike was in band.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he played trumpet.
Yeah, he just hung out with all of us.
Yeah,
right.
He was a groupie.
There was another. I thought Andy Fix was in the band also. Turns out he was not in the band.
No.
So yeah. Anyways,
fuck you for the groupie comment too, Tom. That you did not.
And marching band were very different worlds.
marching band. Well, I was only there freshman year, and I actually enjoyed it. I thought my hat was too big. I couldn't get the damn chin thing to adjust right. So
those hats sucked.
Yeah, they did. But I loved my plume.
You gotta love the plume.
And speaking of, since we're on marching band, a tuba player from Waterson dotted the I today at the Buckeyes game. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I saw that.
That was pretty cool. And I know Jeremy did that too, which is really fucking cool. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine.
I remember Rod Hammersmith. He was a couple years behind us.
Okay, I'm not aware of that one.
Hammersmith did it. And there was, I think, one other. I think, all said, I think there have been like 4 Waterson.
That's kind of cool.
That have dotted the I. Yeah,
considering we didn't have a marching band until, I think, 1987. Yeah, that's pretty
87.
Good.
Yeah,
and we had the Worthington High School uniforms the first year. That would have been 8th grade for us.
Yeah. So one question we always ping people when they come in here with us, who do you think we should get behind the microphone at some point in the future to talk about this?
Wow. That's a very good question. Who would you want to get on here?
Thank you. I'm deep sometimes.
Let's see. Well, you should get a super jock like Mike Durant. And I know that's probably like way off your radar.
I never
like get someone like that's perspective.
That's interesting. A super jock.
I mean, yeah, he ended up playing for the Twins. He's the reason I quit baseball.
Yeah.
I wanted to play junior year for JV, but they said no, you have to play varsity. And that summer before, I sat the entire summer behind Mike. I got to play like 3 innings and got to bat 6 times. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So if you let me play JV, I'll play. And then they went on to win the state senior year.
Okay, Durant was a beast.
Yeah.
He was a beast.
Dude, I mean, on the field too, and I was as beastly as anybody out there. That dude was a bad motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who I think would be interesting. Now, who would you think would be interesting? Somebody you don't know or you know nothing about.
That's the kind of perspective that I like.
How about I can't think of anybody in our class. Who was an immigrant?
An immigrant?
Jerry
Pianga?
Sanjeev? Yeah, Sanjeev Sant or
Jordan Pianga's not a bad one.
Ignacio de Garcias, Gino, the guy who owns Jack and Benny's.
What's that?
You should talk to him.
Yeah, Iggy.
Yeah, Iggy. Iggy's brother, Gino, would be Iggy would be cool too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think those would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Or how about, man, I don't know. Somebody that ran between everybody, I think is George. But you say you've known George forever. George Brand.
Yeah, okay, so I knew him when we were kids, but I fucking lost touch with him in 8th grade. After we switched from OLP to Watterson, I talked to him maybe twice after that. Okay. Yeah, so he'd be an interesting one. Did you even know George in high school, Tom? George Brand?
No. I don't.
That would be interesting.
Was he in our class?
Yeah, he was in our class.
God.
I know.
I lost track of him too. I haven't talked to him in forever.
There's so many people in our class that I don't even know them by name. You know, I never met them.
I was wondering if you were going to have like a yearbook sitting out here to look at.
Oh, God, no.
Right? Yeah.
Jesus Christ, no.
You know, it's like what's kind of like sad and weird is like we only had what 200 people in our class.
381.
381.
Yeah.
All right. Still, my son's graduating class here in California had over 1,600.
Jesus Christ. That's
That's
crazy. I mean, you could know, what, 10% of that class? And not like know, but know by sight.
You don't know the same 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
No matter how big the class actually is. You
Right.
only get a handful of that.
Yeah.
Oh, who would be cool?
Ridiculous.
I want to come up with the perfect answer, but I can't think of one.
We'll come up with a really bad one.
Okay. Well, May Polino.
May be good.
Hey,
Do you guys know Dora Badger?
Dora Badger.
She's not in our class. She was before us.
she was a year or two ahead.
A year, I think, 1 year ahead of us.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, she'd be.
I know the name.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember Dora.
Who achieved anything like? Who's like
Kei Kazumi. What's he doing?
Kazumi? Man, I barely even. That is a blast from the past, man. I don't know if I ever even talked to him.
And Shun was, I think, a year below.
Shun was in our class.
Was Shun our, okay?
Yeah.
Shun was in our class, and then Kay was his older brother.
Yeah,
He was a year or two ahead of us.
Do you guys know John Neal?
Yeah,
He's got
John
like
Vince, his twin.
a DJ in Key West. That would be pretty cool.
Like a DJ, like DJ's
Yeah,
parties.
he owns like the DJ company.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, he's like at Dante's 2 to 5. Come have a drink. You know? Stuff like that. That would be cool. Who's gone around the world or whatever? Who from our class made a mark on something, or has anybody even
Like in a good way?
or a bad way?
Say we marked the whole. This city is scarred with the shit that we broke.
Right?
Or they're still looking for the shit we stole.
Yeah,
All right.
there are tiny townships without water because of us.
Nice. And I'm sure there's more to that story. I'd like to find out. Who would be cool to interview for this show? Boy, I can't really come up with anyone.
I don't know what my shower thought this morning. Jesus Christ, let me rephrase that. That sounds perverted. A thought that I had this morning when I was thinking about Tort coming in was Laura Catania. Like, to bring her in. Because, again, I had a myriad of classes with her. I don't know shit about her as a person. Just, she was so driven. And again, this is my perspective looking in. Just hyper-focused on getting good grades and getting out of this alive. So I kind of wonder, what's high school like for somebody that has to have a 4.0 at the finish line 4 years down the road?
I am definitely not your guy for that. I was very happy with getting C's and just graduating.
I would have been grounded into the Stone Age if I got C's.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
Now if-
That was a firstborn. Now my brother, he did whatever he wanted.
That's
but
where I was going to go. Paul and Ann, I'm the 5th out of 6. The first 2 or 3 would have had the same stoning treatment, but they didn't have the energy by the time I came around. I mean, it just was totally different life. They had gained weight. It was hard, man. Whatever money they had, they didn't have anymore.
right?
Because, it was just life had been going for a while
Right.
by the time I came on, and you could tell it took its toll on them.
Yeah, you
my
fucking
parents are
younger
awesome, by
kids
the way.
had it so easy.
Yeah.
On another podcast that I do with my brother, speaking of that, we were telling a story. We did an episode about weed. And his band did a show at Ruby Tuesdays, probably about 12, 13 years ago. And it was this one odd night at Ruby Tuesdays that my parents came to see him. and it was in February. It was really cold, so my mom put my brother's jacket over her shoulder in the show, reached into his pocket and pulled out a fistful of joints.
Yes.
And I looked up at him and he looked at me and I'm like, somehow I'm going to get yelled at for this.
Yeah.
So, like,
This is my fault.
I went outside a little after that and smoked a cigarette and came back in and I got read the riot act for smoking a cigarette.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was so offended. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, there's an eighth of weed in joints in your hand. And she's like, oh, Andy would never do anything like that.
Right.
He's probably holding it for a friend that has a record and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
Holy shit.
Right back.
but yeah, it's that fucking, the younger kids, man, they're the bane of my existence.
Right? That's funny.
They have it so easy. But yeah, I got yelled at for smoking a completely 100% legal cigarette, and he got away scot-free. And it
Of course.
it pisses me off to this day.
And you guys aren't even like that different in age. Well, it took
No,
4 years.
it was 4-year difference. And again, we were probably in our 40s or like late 30s, early 40s when it happened.
Holy shit! Right?
Yeah.
You say like 12. You say like 12 years ago. I'm like, it's like the 80s.
Right? Yeah, that math,
I have no concept.
that 100% tracks with me. Yeah, but I mean, I looked at the hand that came out of the pocket. I'm like, Jesus Christ. You know, again, seeing it from my perspective, like, I would be flogged for this. But no, I got the, you should really quit smoking cigarettes. I'm like, oh, thanks, Surgeon General Mom. You know, I had no idea these were bad for me. The pack doesn't say right on the side in bold font, welcome to death, dummy.
Right.
Yep. But anyway, that reminded me when you said the younger siblings. So yeah, I got shit for getting B's, and then he'd come in and it's like, hey, I skated through with 8 C minuses. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, it was no fun though. You always knew there's a deadline coming that you're not doing. Something that you should be doing that you're not going to do.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe getting one of those kids that had the pressure of having to pull a 4-point, it'd be an interesting perspective to get in some future show.
Who are those kids?
Right? Where are they now?
On deck.
Was it all worth
Get
it?
Jake Neff. I bet that would be a blast.
Jesus Christ, that's a name I haven't heard in 30 years.
Yeah.
Jake fucking Neff. Yeah.
That would be so
Grade school
fun.
with him. Yeah.
He'd be a blast, I guarantee. It'd be
Yeah,
fun.
that fucker is funny.
That was the fun times were at his place.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With football. Either his place or Karskadden's place.
On deck, Sean Swanson said he wants to do this.
Sure.
Which should be fun. And McGlissick, we're trying to get her in,
Right.
too.
No, I didn't know anything of her after freshman year.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, you'll have to listen
Yeah,
then
I will
and
listen.
find out.
I'm a fan, actually. I don't know why I like to do that, but yeah.
Rock on, dude.
Mike says no.
You have the pipes for it, too. You have to do all our promos from now on.
Sure, call me whenever you need
Right.
one.
Yes.
94.7. Lube it up and jack it off. Just skip the innuendo and go straight at it.
Yeah.
Shove it in. No. Stop.
Wow. Okay. So, I don't know about your time zone, but it's really fucking late here all of a sudden.
It's not.
I keep seeing that
It's just.
Freddie Mercury is calling me.
Wow. So before Tort fucks my Instant Pot, I think
Nah, he's really not my type, but he is definitely a hero for sure.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Too bad, man. If he could have just made it a little bit longer. There was whatever treatments were coming around, but
Right.
that sucks, man. That was so sad for him. And
That
so
was
many
heartbreaking.
other nameless people. That was a horrible time in this country.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. And
Well, I wonder-
having just gone through a pandemic or going through a pandemic now, I don't know. I guess there's not very much relatable between the two, but you'd think people would be more courteous or compassionate towards other people.
You've been in
just
America
made-
for a while, dude.
Yeah,
you
I
realize
know.
we're a bunch of
They're
assholes.
the biggest assholes ever. There isn't even a planet full of assholes bigger than us. Damn, there's probably no, I don't know, whatever human life other than us has to be cooler than what we are, because I don't think we could do a worse job at being assholes to each other. No, we couldn't do it any better.
Oh shit, hold my beer.
Okay, so we're going to end this on a positive.
I fucking hate pandemics.
Yeah.
This sucked, man. I can't believe I wasn't going to get political. Ugh, I couldn't believe that. He happened to be president, and we really needed somebody.
Anybody else?
What a fucking nightmare.
And okay, so not to get political, but
I didn't want to go there. I'm not.
Anybody else that would have been president at the time, the biggest fucking gift you can be handed is something like that.
Is a crisis.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's solvable.
Yeah.
In a short amount of time.
And they gave him the playbook to deal with it.
I know.
And
That's
he burned it.
Anybody else would be anointed king if they had half a brain.
No kidding. Well, I don't know. The way it turned out around the whole world, it doesn't look like anybody was capable of dealing with it. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, because I mean, shit. We're what, over a year and a half into this, and they're still doing lockdowns.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just cyclical.
Still mask debates, still vaccine debates. I just don't know where people. One of the earliest classes that I took at Columbus State was an English class, and they talked about finding good information and how hard it is to get good information. That never has shown its head like it's doing now.
Oh yeah,
with the fake.
It's never been harder than it is now.
Right.
QAnon? Are you serious? They thought JFK was coming back, and they were there at the airport to greet him.
Oh my god!
I mean, this is real. This is insane.
I just read, I think yesterday, that there's still a batch of them there waiting for Junior to show up.
Jesus.
So I don't know. Honestly, I mean, not to be a negative Nancy, but a pandemic is kind of a problem that solves itself.
Yeah,
You
eventually.
just wait 50 years.
I get my booster and my flu shot Tuesday, so I hope to survive this. No thanks to fucking half of the country that doesn't seem to give a fuck, man.
My thing is, all right, if they don't want to get vaccinated, fine. Go die.
Yeah. See?
Go. Go for it.
Seriously, honestly, it comes down to choice. Freedom. You choose to, a mandate is arguably unconstitutional. Okay, I get it. It totally is. You should not be forced by the government to inject anything you don't want into your body. However, you must understand that there's a consequence to that choice. There's a consequence to an action. It's just like you're talking to a toddler. There's a consequence to your actions.
Go ahead, touch that hot oven. Touch it. Touch it all you want.
Or inaction. Yeah. It's glowing red for a reason.
Yep.
Smack that.
But just the testimonials of the people who didn't believe it, that were, having deathbed confessions, telling people, go get your vaccination.
Oh, I was so stupid. All right, well, you know what? They don't need to get any press. They shouldn't be in a hospital bed because they've ignored.
That's the consequence.
Science.
No shot, no fucking health care.
Yeah, if you are voluntarily unvaccinated and get COVID, all right, you're going to be in a cot in the fucking parking lot because this guy needs an appendectomy, and you're not going to take his place.
Right.
In the list of priorities.
Yeah, I mean, we're just preaching to the choir here, but just
I know
it just shake my damn head. I can't believe this.
However,
all of this went down the way it did.
I am totally for anybody who objects to the mandate. I don't like a mandate. I don't think it's right.
Right.
However, again, it's a freedom. It's a freedom of choice.
A public health crisis.
However, you should have. There will be consequences to those choices.
Yeah, it's called a social contract. If you want to live in society,
yes,
and use all of the services that are available to us, you're signing a contract.
Or else get your hunting license and get out in the woods because you're not allowed in Kroger's anymore.
Or, if you don't want to get a shot and you don't want to wear a mask, fine. You know what? If there was a GoFundMe to buy all these people tickets to Sturgis next year, I would gladly offer as much money as humanly possible. Because like you said, Tom, let's speed the process up.
We got to get it in an indoor venue.
I was really hoping there'd be a lot more free parking spaces after the end of the, right. I was really expecting a lot less traffic on the highway.
All right, so
this pandemic
damn,
really
I still don't feel like I have revealed my mask enough, but
Jesus Christ, man, what more have you got?
I don't know. Well,
fuck.
Then there's chapter 2.
No. All right, I'll tell you. You can come back after McGlissig.
I guess it got covered. This was gonna be very therapeutic for me because I've never talked about this.
Did it help at all?
Yeah, I think it did.
Okay.
I feel like I could have done better though. Like I didn't. I wanted to go off the top of my head, like free for me, not have like a script.
Okay.
But I just feel like I could have done like a better job of communicating, but I think I did okay.
Yeah, you get used to it after a while.
Thank you. Mike says no.
Well, and again, if us sitting here just goofing around and talking about this helps one person out there,
it's been great. I've been looking forward to this since I first heard about it.
Well, good,
like
man.
Driving around, working, whatever, thinking about things I'm going to say and what I'm going to talk about. I probably thought about it too much.
Then you probably thought about it way more than us.
Right. Yeah, and I know it's not like the entire world is here to listen, but it's good to speak these things or my feelings and get them out into the world.
Yeah.
And shit, man,
somebody will hear it that could find something useful from it.
Honestly, from an hour ago, I feel like the burden that I thought I was carrying around in high school was far lighter now comparatively to what the person I saw in the hall was walking around. The thing is, though,
it's exactly the same. I mean, it's the Catholicism and homosexuality thing is a bit weird, but it's the same insecurity.
Yeah.
The same exact, chemical is rolling through your blood, making you feel that way. That's doing it to me.
That's
different things causing it, but it's the same exact thing. So,
right.
And maybe to what level, I guess some kids had it more comfortable at home than others did.
Well, that's what we're going to find out.
Yeah.
In the next 379 interviews we do with everybody in our fucking class.
Excellent. I want all of them. Every last one of them. Who? Tiffany Valentino. Yes.
Okay.
What would that be like? You'd probably learn so much about everybody.
Oh my God.
I don't want to say that.
You know what? We would get an e-sponsorship after that, I bet. There would be so much trash talk.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. We'd get a call from the big dogs.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. Like Entertainment Tonight, but for 50-year-old Catholics.
Oh. Uh-oh, copyright. We'll have to edit
Fuck. They're on our budget.
Damn it. Sorry, I know a guy.
Well, Tom, where are you in California? Where exactly?
Beaumont.
Where is that?
About 90 miles south of Los Angeles, about 95 miles east of San Diego. So desert.
You speak Spanish, then.
No, but I kind of understand it now.
You can. Good for you. Excellent.
A bit, un poquito.
Un poquito. See. When
You picked that up at the restaurant.
I thought I had a pretty good handle on Spanish. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I couldn't understand shit from Shinola. I mean, I couldn't. It was like, I am so used to obviously speaking with Mexican people. This sounds nothing like that. And the real world is definitely not a classroom.
Right?
After a month of fucking up, I was starting to get it. It was really cool. So, but anyway, that'd be I'd love to live in that part of the country. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
When I first majored in Spanish, my goal was I was going to go down to El Paso. And there's this huge, well, not a soup kitchen, but where you go and pick up groceries. Pantry.
Okay.
Like the biggest pantry in the United States. and I was going to go and work there and try to get into the community to defend immigrants coming from Mexico. But at the same time, my knees started getting messed up pretty bad, and I had to change plans.
Well, you know what? We could ship in and get you a saxophone, and you can just play at Tom's neighbor's house, because apparently it's a concert venue next door.
And that's funny. I keep thinking, why does Tom keep playing music, and then like I'm talking and he lowers the music? Like, now it's very serious. Like, fuck. Well, no, put that music back on. Here comes the very key point. We're going to lower the music so you get it all. Yeah, no, I do. I want to be a radio guy.
Be a radio guy, man.
Yeah, I should.
It's literally the bar to enter.
How do you get into the business of like voiceover or big voice guy? How does somebody do that?
If you want to get into voiceover, you gotta create a demo.
Okay. So I need like a cast of characters of my voices or whatever.
Well, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to get into like voice acting, like doing animation and stuff like that, then yeah, you're going to have to develop a cast of characters.
Right. I want to be a star personality first, and then do that after I'm famous.
Yeah, have Marvel call you. That's the goal.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
super easy, I heard.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Just go to California, and then they call you in like 2 weeks, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you just move out here, and then the phone starts ringing.
Fuck yeah, man!
That's what
I
happened to
knew
me.
I'd love California.
It's such a shithole, Tim. Don't come here.
I've been to
bad.
Vegas, I've been to the Edge, but I've never stepped foot in California. But I'm thinking more like San
That's the
Francisco.
edge.
Yeah, don't go back.
Unless you've got like just a shit ton of money.
Yeah, no,
In which case, yeah, you can survive.
yeah. No, I couldn't survive Chicago, so I don't think I can make California.
Yeah, that's the minor leagues right there.
It's much more brutal. The friendly Midwest doesn't really apply to Chicago.
No, it doesn't.
St. Louis, yes, definitely. Not Chicago. All right, well, cool. That's nice. I like that you're in Southern Cal. That's pretty neat. Sunshine, weather. You gotta love that. Right? Man, I went to the Dominican Republic. I got there on January 1st because the flights were so much cheaper after the holiday. And I'm standing in the Caribbean on January 1st. It's 90 degrees.
Oh, my God.
I got a Presidente ice cold beer in my hand going, why in the world have I never done this before? What is wrong with me? Like, not that I knew that people take winter vacations. That was probably the best vacation I ever took. I know, we're just going nowhere now. And I want to talk about world travels.
All right, so now that we're officially derailed and all the way off the tracks.
See Dairy Girls on, what is that? It's great. It was fantastic. Have you seen Squid Game?
Where are you, like, late on your meds or something? What the fuck are you doing? You're all over the place now.
I am. No, we stopped drinking. I need to keep drinking.
That's it. Yes. We've never done this show remotely sober.
Cheers. Good for you. That's how I would like to do it. And with bongs and other stuff, too. Just, I'd be much more comfortable. I'd forget the microphones were even here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you get a 2-hour show. All of a sudden you're like, fuck, we're almost out of batteries.
Are we on that? How far late are we?
We're at $1:20 right now.
You have to like edit all of this last.
We said goodbye hours ago.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, about your pee break is where I'm going to cut this show off.
Right on.
No, I'm fucking with you. No,
Right, that's cool. Whatever you have to do.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. So
again, I hope it is helpful to somebody.
yeah, absolutely. That's why
Or
we're
if
here.
it's somebody I don't like, I hope it hurts them. Yes.
Wow. Fuck. Okay.
Really bad.
And you know who you are. If you're out there, you know who you are. But you're probably not listening.
I feel really bad that we weren't closer friends.
Who? Like you and me?
Yeah.
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 Like, you totally would have fucking fit.
I could have used friends too, believe
Shit,
me.
yeah.
I had friends. I had a lot of friends. A lot of people were around, but I definitely could have used a bigger group or more people.
Why the hell are we ignorant to this?
I don't know.
Man, I didn't have a car, and I couldn't
You were
drive.
good.
I wasn't allowed to have a
Shit.
job or money, so I was like pretty much either school or home.
All we did was drink beer and break shit, so you would have fit right in. Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have been up for drinking the beer, though, at that early age.
You could have watched.
But I definitely made up for it after. Senior year. Trust me, man. If
Yeah, you
there was like
would've
a
fit right
second
in.
senior year, I would have been.
Second senior year.
That would be a blast.
You could have turned some of those C minuses into D's.
Without even trying.
Oh my
I think I would have fit in, but I think all of us would have probably fit in anywhere if we were like secure enough to just be who the hell you are.
Yeah, I know.
That's hard.
That's kind of the point, isn't it?
I guess.
Yeah.
Now, who the fuck am I now? I wore masks for so many years. I'm not even sure.
That's what. And again,
Where is it? Where does the mask end and the real me begin?
right?
On like a Who
Well,
album.
where do you want that line to be drawn?
Shit, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to be. I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. Just wanted to exist freely without fear of getting pelted with shit, or booed, or kicked out, or excluded. Because that's how like the Catholic Church made me feel.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
Like
all
you
of us
can't
did.
possibly be on the inside of this holy institution. You're not
Kind
worthy.
of that's its job.
If I'm not strapped to a pyre at the end of the day, I call it a win. You know.
Well, at least we didn't colonize other places and call them our own.
Right.
Well, yet.
Yet. But the century's young.
Yeah, there's nowhere else to go.
Right.
Well, there's the moons up there.
It's true.
And I think them Elon Musk and them crew is trying to go to Mars or something.
We'll get there eventually. Yeah. So again, if anybody's listening and we made your journey just slightly easier, then that's what we're here for. But just remember, we all were fucked up at that age. We all did shit that we didn't want to do just to get by. And you come out kind of remotely okay at the end.
Right? Although you couldn't tell by the music coming from Arnholz.
Right? Yeah. And then you move into a place with fucking cover bands.
Or you end up being a cover band and have to play a backyard birthday party.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesus Christ. Hashtag it could be worse.
All right, so everybody's like, we're 50s now, right? So everybody's like either solidly into their journey or coming near the end of their journey.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at the very beginning again.
Good, man.
Like here I am, like the world, I could go anywhere, do anything. What am I going to do?
Take a 2.0. Do whatever you want.
Are you excited? It's an exciting but scary thing.
It's definitely scary because I should have had more money by now, but that's the only part that really sucks is the financial part. If you're not as able to take care of yourself like you could before, like i.e. working 60 hours a week, then you just kind of get, I don't know. I need a security area where I can always go back to. So I need a place to always go back to when I go out and fuck up on my adventures. But I still feel like I'm going to Latin America somehow.
Cool.
To do something cool down there. At least put water in the desert.
That's deep.
Belarus.
Belarus. One of my best friends in Chicago was from Minsk, which is the capital of Belarus. Yeah, Yuri.
Right.
What a guy, man. That dude was like my grandfather, my secondary grandfather. I never even knew my first grandfathers, but this guy was awesome, man. He was 60. He was a doctor over there, but he delivered pizzas here because none of his education mattered here.
Jesus.
Yeah, it didn't
And so
transfer.
he came for his kids. But anyway, that was a joke, and I made it serious. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Belarus is like a different fucking planet.
Anyway, shout out to Yuri, wherever you are. You were the best motherfucker in Chicago at that time.
Dude, you're dumping so much good stuff into our show that you should just start your own.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
just
sure I could, I guess.
literally, you need nothing to start a podcast.
Right?
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
I can incorporate music into it.
Yeah. We can talk offline about it, but literally the software that we started with, you can my daughter has her own podcast. All she uses is her phone, and it's a music show.
Damn.
on Spotify.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
So
down.
yeah, you have enough fucking stories and interesting shit that you could do hours of entertaining stuff.
We
I'd fucking
just
listen.
scratch the surface, but yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Sounds fun.
don't waste it on idiots like us, man. Use it on yourself.
Yeah, I definitely don't consider either of you idiots, and never did. In fact, I thought that both of you were probably 4-point students. If that's true or not, I don't know.
Combined, yeah, easily.
Combine my 2.5 with his D's, and we're on roll.
Great.
Yep.
I think I eked out with a 2.7 when it was all said and done.
I think I was a 3 with repeating threes after it when I was done.
I know that I was 208th ranked in our class. But now, since I've graduated from Ohio State, even though that was 2014, I drive our college percentage up a little
Nice. You padded the stats,
bit.
dude.
40 years later.
Yeah. Go fucking push Durant down a flight of stairs and tell him.
Still holding us back.
Yes, that's right. Good for you, Tom. Do it. Just
Right.
if it helps you, if it encourages you at all, I've never paid 1 cent of my loans back.
Excellent.
Yes.
Fuck 'em.
Wow.
I never planned on paying them back. Wait, you might have to edit this out. I don't know if I want family to.
Every boat needs an anchor, I guess, right?
Oh my god.
All right, so let's bring this beast to a close.
Tom,
dude,
that was fun. That was great.
shit, yeah, dude.
Talking with you and seeing you even virtually.
You
That was
too,
very
brother.
cool,
You
man.
too, brother.
Yeah,
Hell yes.
you were a fucking
Like I
blast to
said,
have in here.
I really wish we had the chance to be closer because I don't know if it would have changed anything for you or made anything easier, but I sure as shit would have loved to have the chance
Yeah.
back in the day.
I just would have loved to have you around more.
Yeah.
I think we would have had a
It would have
blast
been
when we
fun.
were kids.
We would have had a blast.
Yep.
Definitely.
I could have introduced you to weed like way earlier too.
All right. It was a conscious decision to not smoke it. But then when I decided to smoke it, I never turned back.
Right. It's
I went from that first eighth to resin the next day.
Jesus Christ, man.
I'm telling you, I think it needed me more than I needed it.
All right, on that slightly illegal note, I think it's time to bring this month to a close. But, dude, thank you so much. This has been an absolute ball.
My pleasure. I hope it's what you wanted or more.
Very insightful. And yeah, again, if anybody's listening and is going through anything remotely like this, just know that there are people out there just like you. And it gets better, and we're all here to help too. You can reach out.
It does get better.
Anybody.
For a fact, it gets better. The sun always rises.
There
Just
you go.
remember,
Yep.
no matter how shitty today was, there's always tomorrow. Unless you die, and then you are free.
You just cannot end on a. I have been waiting for fucking 40 minutes to end on a high note, and you keep knocking it down.
Dude, maybe death isn't that bad of a
You had it right. It was in the palm of your hand, and you crushed it like a tiny defenseless baby bird. You're a fucking monster.
I love it. Yeah, I'll have to work on that.
Jesus Christ. All right, the credits are rolling in my virtual head. You fuckers go away, and we'll do this again next month.
Peace, Swanson. Looking forward to hearing you talk. You too, and McGlissick.
Unless we're all dead.
Unless you die, then you're free.
I'm hitting the big red button now, so get him in.
Goodbye, Tom.
With the button.
Peace, brother.